This is Christina Tassoni, and my project is on the film Garden State. Character development, mise-en-scene, filming techniques, and musical score all set Garden State apart from other films in the romance or drama genres. For those of you who haven't seen this movie, I'll start with a brief summary of what Garden State is about. This movie was written and directed by Zach Braff. Braff is also the lead actor in this film, whose name is Andrew Largeman, or known as Large by his friends. Other main characters are Sam, played by Natalie Portman, and Mark, played by Peter Sarsgaard. Sam is Andrew's love interest in the film, and Mark is Andrew's high school friend who he hasn't seen in a very long time. Andrew is a 20-something man living in Los Angeles. During the first few minutes of the film, he finds out that his mother has died. He has to go back to his hometown in New Jersey for the funeral, where he also gets reacquainted with his old friends, meets the love of his life, and repairs his relationship with his father, all after his decision to go off of the mood-altering drugs he's been on since he was a boy. We'll now move into character development, the first aspect of Garden State that sets it apart from other films in the romance and drama genres. Andrew's main character development comes out of a journey he takes with Mark and Sam before he leaves to go back to LA. In The Hero in the Perennial Journey Home, an American film by Susan Mackie Callis, the author talks about quests or journeys and how they are often a double quest. A double quest means there's both an outward journey and a journey of the heart. For Andrew, this growth takes place when Mark takes him and Sam on all around different places, such as a hardware store, a sketchy hotel back room, and finally to a geological landmark to track down a going-away present for Andrew. While the three's journey takes them to all these different places, we see Andrew slowly opening up, letting go of all of his pain, and realizing his feelings for Sam. The character development that takes place at this point in the movie is very important because it shows us that Andrew growing is more important than his relationship with Sam. This is the basis of the whole movie. The next aspect of the film I'd like to talk about is called mise-en-scene, which means things that appear in the camera frame that help create the film's themes or mood. One of the major themes that goes throughout the movie is water. This is something that flows throughout the film in both subtle and not so subtle ways. This could be as subtle as water dripping in the background of a scene, and other times it can be as blatant as Andrew getting completely soaked in a storm. In this film, water is representative of emotions trying to break through to Andrew. The rainstorm in the infinite abyss is symbolic of Andrew's pain and frustration finally being unleashed and then washed away. Another aspect of mise-en-scene that's important to this film is what is shown when we look at Andrew's room in Los Angeles versus Sam's room in her house. Andrew's room is depicted as white and sterile. He seems almost obsessive-compulsive with the way all of his pills are lined up. It reminds you of being in a doctor's office. On the other hand, Sam's room is warm and inviting. It's got a very calming atmosphere, even amidst all the clutter. The two rooms are representative of the two personalities, and this is what draws Andrew to Sam. The next aspect of this film that we're going to look at is the filming technique, specifically in the scene Into the Abyss, which we looked at earlier. In The Lighter Side of Greece, Lost in Contemporary American Cinema, written by Brian Brown, Brown talks about the filming techniques that are used in this scene that set it apart from other films. He writes, "The scene concludes with a romantic kiss through the trash bag that covered Sam and Andrew in the rain. While many Hollywood films would depict a romantic kiss in the rain in a very different manner, perhaps with a soft focus or a close-up on the faces of the couple, Braff chooses to remain at a medium shot with Mark still within the frame. This subtle departure from the Hollywood norm is yet another way that the film does not classify itself within the confines of a romantic comedy or a buddy picture." Just before the kiss takes place in the scene we just watched, there is a camera shot that makes the characters appear small as we start to see down the abyss. In this scene, this helps the audience to see that there is more than what's in front of them. Like the bottom of the abyss that's never been seen before, the characters don't know what the future holds for them, but they can now face this future with optimism. The last aspect of this film that sets it apart from other movies that I'm going to talk about is the musical score. It is easy to see, especially in the last scene, that the music is used in Garden State very strategically. The song Let Go by the band Frou Frou plays in the last scene. This song is very important because it gets across exactly what the film is trying to say. The lyrics say, let go, jump in. Oh well, what are you waiting for? And then it says there's beauty in the breakdown. This is the key point of the film, that you have to experience breakdowns, you have to experience negative emotions and bad things to be able to understand the beauty in life. You can't just run away and ignore the hurt that you experience. In conclusion, character development, mise-en-scene, filming technique, and musical score all contribute to the fact that Garden State is not just a romance film or a dramatic film. This film is a coming-of-age tale that speaks to and inspires our generation. It encourages us to acknowledge the awful and terrible emotions and circumstances that we go through every day. It encourages us to understand that these are real things that we have to feel, because without those emotions, we can't find the beauty, love, and happiness in our world.